Strong, stretched and centred, week 15. So, all we're going to do first of all is we're going to push our butt back and we're going to tuck our tailbone under. So we're just going to start working and mobilising through the butt, through the hips. So a lot of you are going to like this one. Well, hopefully everybody will like it. Not just a lot of you. All the people that grab hold of it later on, it's right, I always move because I'm like, oh yeah, I can just see I'm just in. Up and down. So at the moment we're just doing this movement down, tucking our tailbone under and coming back up. Let's do it again. Down and up. One more. Down and up. So this one, knees go over our toes. Push your knees over your toes and you can feel the back of the calves really stretching. Hold that. Just hold it and then straighten it again. Do it again. Push your knees over. So you can go a little bit further this time. Hold it and then come back up. Let's do it again. Push your knees over. Stretch your the soleus because they're all attached, you know, like from there to your knees to your hamstrings. One more. One. Perfect. Then we're going to take it out. Squat position. So we're going to come down again. We're going to tuck our tailbone under and come up. Now what I want you also to do is when you're going down and as you tuck under, draw the shoulders together and then up. Stick your tailbone out. Tuck under. Come up. Do it again. Down. Under and up. Let's do a few more. That's it. And one more. So what we're going to do is when we start working with the hamstrings and starting to get the work doing, you can use a chair to hold on to if you needed to. So what I'll do is I'll just grab a chair just so people who might be doing it at a later time may not, you know, be like, oh, I'm finding that one really hard, and it's okay, you can go now. Just go lie down. So your feet hip width apart. So what we're going to do is bend the knees slightly and we're going to come down to here. Yeah, so we're in this position here. Then all I want you to do is to tuck under and lift up. So what you're doing is stretching through here. That's it. Tuck under and up. So we've got to be able to hinge quite well. So we need to make sure that we are nicely mobilised underneath the pelvis. This is it. That's it. So we've got the length. Now we're just going to straighten the legs a little bit more and see if you can just have straight legs and then stick your tailbone up in the air. Now, if you're hyper mobile, watch out that this doesn't go back too far. You need to still keep your knee in line. So with this position now, we're just going to pull the abs in and then we're still supporting ourselves here. And stick your tailbone up so you can feel that stretch. Perfect. A few more. Then bend your knees, place your hands on there and then come up. So now we're going to take a step out. So again, the chair's always there if somebody needs it. And we're just going to have both knees. Can you see how both knees are slightly bent? We're going to come forwards and we're just going to hold for now and stick the tailbone up in the air again and then tuck it under. So we're sticking tailbone up, bring it under. So all the time you're doing that, you can feel the lengthening through the hamstring. Yeah. Stick it up. Oh, brilliant. And then we're going to straighten the leg if we can. So we're still holding on to, supporting, and see if we can go a little bit lower. Now we hold it, we're not moving. Just be careful, see if you need to hold on to something, if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, that's fine. Bend your knee, then come up, shake it out. Perfect. So we're going to do the same with the other side. Knees slightly bent, come forwards. Now I'm going to stick this tailbone up and back. So we have a slight bend. Some of you can get to the floor, some of you can't. This is what the chair's for. The chair is here. So you're in this position, and if you're feeling uncomfortable and you don't want to get that low, you can still do it here. Stick your tailbone up, tuck it under, stick it up. Can you feel that? Right under there, yeah? Now we're going to straighten the leg and see if we can come down and just hold it. So I'll just move my chair a little bit and just hold it. Both legs straight. Hamstring. Perfect, bend the knee, come on up. Now again we're going to come with our feet hip width apart again. So this time we're going to now use a bit of strength. So we're going to come so we're halfway down. Make sure your knees are locked but not back. You can have a slight bend if that's an issue. You're going to place your hands behind your back and you're just going to hold the position here. Now this is again where somebody might want to use a chair. Hold the position. Now your hamstrings are holding you up. Yeah, so we're working on strength. We're not going lower, we're holding. Then you can have a slight bend in your knees as well, that's fine. Breathing. And don't, with your knees, with your feet, just make sure you've got a bit of grip. Bend your knees, slowly come up. What? And there. So we're going to take the lever a little bit further. Watch you don't get dizzy. Shake out your legs. So with this movement now we bring our hands here and we're coming forwards. Now head in line with your spine. Remember your knees can have a slight bend if you wish. If you feel this going towards your back, bring your hands round to here. Holding it, pull your abs in. That's it. So this is working posterior chain as well as hamstring. Just hold it. Bend your knees. Come on. Now what you're probably noticing, you're getting a little bit warm. Yeah? You're actually doing a bit of work. Fantastic. So, lever is out there. So you had to be really careful. Some of you have found that one really awkward with your back. So the best thing would have been to go there. Now we are going to hinge all the way towards the floor, but we don't want to touch the floor. We now want gravity to do the work, so we're just going to grab hold of our elbows. Again, if you want to have your knees slightly bent, you can. And breathe. Yeah, can you feel that? Now, bend your knees, slowly come up again and shake. So what you're feeling is you can really feel that pull through here. Perfect. So, I'm going to take that leg forwards. So before we were working at stretching and mobilising and getting it a lot longer. So now, we're going to see if we can keep the front leg as straight as we can. Don't worry if you have to have a slight bend, remember, not everybody can do it straight. And we're just coming to here. So again, for some people, that chair is always useful. So stick your tailbone up. You can really feel that. Remember, I can slightly bend the knee if I wish. That just takes it off. You're still working through the hamstring, but sometimes if the knee joint's a little bit tender, or you're very, very tight through your hamstrings, bend your knees, come on up. Perfect. I'm going to change leg. I'm going to give that one a bit of a rest. Now the other thing you've got to think about when you come forwards is your feet hip width apart. So make sure the feet are hip width apart. Same thing again, straight leg. And you're just holding that there. So you can really feel it, can't you? It's like whoosh, right underneath by that tailbone. Strengthen through those hamstrings. And then bend your knees and come up. Remember to keep breathing, that's really important. So phase 2 of this next one. So again, we're going to come out. So it's almost a pyramid pose. So now I have to have a slight bend on this front leg because I've got a bad knee on here. So just reach. Remember, if that's too much, you go back to there. So this one there is loading through the posterior chain as well. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, come on up. So we're flowing with it, we're not holding anything too long, so you're going to get yourself into a point where you might feel uncomfortable and possibly injure yourself. Right, we ready to do this one? Straight leg, hinge, and come forwards. Perfect. Some people can get lower, some people get higher, but you stay parallel. If you can feel this through your back, bend your front leg a bit. Hold it. Breathe. Bring it up. Yeah. So we've just got to do one more on each side. And that's the one where we're going to fold and do the big part of the stretch. So the leg comes forwards, straight leg, we fold. We don't use the support unless we have to. So we're just going to put our arms down, that's it. So we're holding it off the ground, strengthening, making sure we're not gripping the ground with our toes. Hold it a little while longer. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Come up carefully. This is when you get dizzy. So try not to necessarily have your eye gaze to the floor. Try and take it forwards more, because even I get dizzy if I come up too quickly on that one. So forwards. So rather than looking down, try and look forwards. Stick your tailbone up. This is beautiful deep work through here. Remember, knee is the option, yeah? Holding it. Hold it. Now with this one, we're not going to come up. Hand to the floor. Way. Come on down. Excellent. And go back into child's pose if you can. Yeah. So let me just move my chair. Don't need that now. Fantastic. So we're still on hands and knees. Puppy pads. Very good for wet dogs. So you're in your child's pose. Perfect. So now I want you to come forwards with your one foot, with your back leg. So we're going to try a split move, as in the split. I want you to walk back, toe, knee, toe, knee. You go back as far as you can so that you can hold this split. Yeah, so we've got a good stretch going on here. Just want you to think about your breathing, breathing in and out. And you've got your hands supporting. Some of you, if your wrists aren't good, you can come up into this position here. That's it. So I bet you never thought you could nearly do the splits. Some of you might be going, I am doing the splits. That's it. And then come out of it however which way you want to. We're going to do the same on the other side. Big foot forwards. Then knee. That's it. Toe, knee. So the front leg doesn't move at all, it's just the back leg. Take your hands either side, get yourself as far as you want to go, as far as you feel comfortable with, and just hold the position. Option is to come onto your fists or have your hands down. Now try not to focus on how uncomfortable it is, but more about how you're going to allow that stretch to relax a little bit more. So just inhale and exhale. Few more seconds, and then come out of it however which way you want to, onto your hands and knees. When you're ready, we're going to tuck ourselves under and we're going to go into down dog. So just have a little bit of walk of the dog. So we did stretch the calves earlier on. Pushing those heels down. That's it. Now try and get the heel down towards the floor. Perfect. Now we're going to go three-legged dog. So, fireplace in the way. Push your heel down. That's it. And just hold it. And then bring it down. Do the same on the other. So make sure your fingers are all splayed out and you feel comfortable through your wrists. Now what we're going to do is we're going to walk our feet in so our feet are flat. Then we're going to do a three-legged dog again. Now you can start feeling it more on your hamstring and there's less on your wrists. So hold it. Straight leg if you can, slight bend if you can't. And bring it down. Change it over. All the back of those hamstrings. Bring it down. Let's walk our feet in. So now we're going to go. We were doing a split where we're on the mat. Now we're going to do a standing split. So again, you're going to lift this leg up. If you want to take your hand behind, you can do so. If not, just lift up. See where it goes. See if this is going to allow it to go further. Allow your body to come down. Just hold it. Bring it down. One more, and then the other side. Whoa. Come on, up we go. That's as far as I can get my split. Can't get up very far. And then bring it down. Well done. Come onto your knees, head spin down, and go back into child's pose. Whew. There you go. Now for some of you can get down onto your heels, and as you probably know, up until a few weeks ago I could as well, but when you get a flare up on your knee, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Come on up. So now we're going to do a range of movement stretch, which is just your normal hamstring stretch. So just imagine you're lifting your buttocks up on the floor, and you're not to feel anything through your back, so you need to lift and hinge. We're now going to hold this for 2 minutes. So pull the belly button in, relax your shoulders. If you can lock, lock. Just breathe nice and slowly, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're doing that, I want you to imagine your body is melting down your legs. See if you can get it go down a little further. And all the time you can actually feel everything coming down. But as well as your body's coming down, I want you to try and get your chest over your knees. And when you're doing that, stops your back from bowing in the back. We don't want to feel that bowing in the back where it's really painful. You've got your arms, you can rest your arms down on the floor if you need to, or just keep stretching. So try and keep lengthening the body. And you'll probably find, actually, I can't remember ever going this low before. And that's because of all the work we've just been doing. So we've been doing strength work. So what happens with strength work, everything contracts because it has to hold on and it has to do all that. Then what we have to do is we have to stretch it out, which puts it to its pre-length. So rather than it bulking up and staying tight, we need to stretch it out so it's long, and then it's able to do all this type of movement a lot better. So we've got 30 seconds to go. What happens if you don't stretch, things bulk up and then they don't have that elasticity. And then if you're overstretching because you're sitting, it can't go back either. So you need to do both ways. It sort of like stays out like that. Whereas when you're doing training, it does that. And when you're sitting, it's like that. And what we want is this. And we want it to stay like there all the time. And then come on up and give it a shake. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into hurdler stretch. So we take the leg back and we're just going to come forward. So obviously we're going to get a bit of resistance from this side of the leg as well. And we're just going to come down, but this time you can relax a little bit more. We're just concentrating on the one leg. We're only going to hold this for a minute. Stretch over the knee if you can. And just try and lengthen. Chill. So use this time not to think about what's going on around you and what's happening later, just to focus on the area that feels tight. Allow your breath to release that area. So as you exhale, just allow it to release. That's it. A little bit more. And what you find is as you're lying here, things start releasing. Sometimes when you're doing something really quickly, like we were doing, going through all the strength stuff quite quickly, we're flowing with it. When you're lying here, you can really start going, oh yeah, now I need to relax. Yeah, I can feel stuff moving now. And almost you can feel it just letting go. And then bring it up. Well done. Shake it out, and then we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to turn around, otherwise I can't see what's going on with the stopwatch. Take the other leg, without getting cramp, and then come forwards. So you can see this side, I'm more over onto the side. So just get yourself ready, and just relax for a minute. Allow the leg to lengthen over it. That's it. If it's stretching well, you might even feel it pulling from right underneath the heel, which is a good, showing that there is a connection, but hopefully everything is stretching all the way up. That's it, so you're nice and relaxed through here, coming forwards through here. Just got 30 seconds. And it's always quite amazing how warm you get as well when you're doing a lot of stretching and trying to relax and focus. Or it could just be that I've got the central heating on. One or the other, but no, you will be feeling you're getting a little bit warmer. Well done, come on up. So, we're going to bring ourselves round and onto our backs. This is when we're going to start using the band. So I just want you to rock your knees from side to side. So it's a lot of work through your hamstrings. So this is what we're going to do, and it allows you to relax more when you're doing the stretch. Just place it over now, whether you've got a towel or whether you've got a belt or your band. So all I want you to do is to pull the leg towards you. Once you've got it as far as you can get it, tilt the pelvis down. So if your tailbone is up, allow it to come down towards the floor. Now, just hold that position. It's quite easy to hold, and now you're going to feel a stretch all the way around there. Toes are pointing towards the shin. Perfect. Just hold it. So I'm going to hold it for a minute. Remember, anytime if it's uncomfortable and you want to put it not on the arch, just over the foot pad, that's fine too. But make sure you hold it in this position. What tends to happen is people got short arms or very long legs, they struggle to grab hold of the leg and give it a really good stretch. So by doing it this way, you're nice and relaxed. And you can allow the muscles of the leg to relax with you while you're holding it. Keep that, pushing that tailbone down. Well done. So all you're going to do now is you're going to place your elbow on the floor and allow that foot to fall out to the side without this side lifting up. Obviously I'm nearly resting my leg on my sofa. So you've got this band. You can hold it with this hand if you wish. Just allow it to open up. So what happens is you can really relax your leg. So you're relaxing it, and by relaxing it, it's going to stretch through the inner thigh and around the hamstring as well, because they're all connected. So just hold that there. So often if the hamstrings are tight or if the inner thighs are really tight, that can pull on your knee as well and affect your walk as well, your stance, your gait. Just let it go, let the ripple effect, just really relax. I'm not putting anything on that leg, it's just doing whatever it wants, but it's being supported, and that's really nice. So when you get it to that position there, it doesn't matter. Right, so fantastic. Let's change it over. That poor leg is like, oh. Put it down, that's it, and you'll be grateful for that. Same thing goes with this. Pull it towards you as far as you can. Yeah, so all you're doing is holding onto your band. Push your tailbone down to the floor, and then we're going to hold it for a minute. That's all we do. That's it. No ballistic bouncing or anything like that. You're just holding it and stretching it. Whereas before we were under tension, weren't we? We were standing, we were doing all those different hamstring exercises. With this, now we're in a position just to be able to breathe and relax and let that hamstring stretch. Just coming up to 15 seconds. So because I've got no music on, today, for those of you that will want to come back to it again, just put your own music on if you can hear me whittering on in behind. Well done. Now allow it to come out to the side. So I normally put my elbow down. I try and make sure that other hip isn't lifted up. If that's uncomfortable, I just hold it like that. I can normally hold it there quite happily. So what we're doing then, it's just holding, and it's really stretching. So we need to hold this for a minute. It was a rough old day today, be rough by the sea. Don't you love it when the waves are crashing against the rocks when it's a really rough day and you're nicely snuggled up in a little cottage or maybe in a caravan somewhere, watching those poor people trying to walk down the beach sideways. That's it, just holding it. Excellent. 10 seconds. It's usually long enough. And then slowly bring it back. Well done. And just let go of it. Just bring your knees into your chest. Nice breathe in and nice breath out. Just allow your legs just to relax down on the floor. So we just need to lie here now and just let go of all that work that we've just done in the back of your legs, and just take some nice deep breaths in and out. And just let go of any tension through the bottom, through the legs, the bottom of the legs, down the bottom part of your body. I want you to feel almost if your breath is coming into your hips and allowing your hips to fall out to the side even more. That's it. And your legs are just totally relaxed. And just thank your legs for the work they've done today. They've worked really hard, they've stretched out. That's a lot of time spending on one muscle group. Obviously we do interact with a few of the other muscle groups, but the focus today was definitely hamstring. So remember that the stronger the hamstring is, the stronger you are through your joints and your knees, and obviously your hamstring is one of the big muscle groups of your body, and you're less likely to get injury. But if you're also very flexible and you can do like the high kick type things and things like that, your pelvis tilting will be in its right place rather than being pulled down. So that's almost like you're tucking your tailbone under because your hamstrings are really tight and pulling you down, and we just want to allow the pelvis to sit nice and comfortably where it's supposed to, without any tension through the hamstrings, through the quads, and allowing it all to work together. because then that can create issues through your back and on your posture as well. Well done, guys. Just slowly bring your knees into your chest. Fantastic. There you go. 30 minutes of working with your hamstrings and utilising your dyno band. Good job. Slowly come on up. Oh. And sit yourselves down, crushing your legs. Fantastic job, everybody. Well done. I can see my screen's gone dark again on Facebook, but hopefully you've seen the end of it anyway. So have a fantastic weekend, and I will see some of you next week, week 16.